Hello, hello, my beloved. My name is Dr. Angelika Christie, and I am your show host of the show, Your Radiant Life After 45. In my show, I discuss skills for healthy, happy, and prosperous women. I believe in a world that women really know everything to have a healthy and prosperous life if they would just turn inward, just listen to their bodies and have a good coach or mentor. I believe in a world where women are cherished and thrive and take a stand for what they know and what is true and will be beneficial to all. The fact is that the world needs your light. And it is my passion and mission to help you discover your unapologetic power so that you live your life confidently and show up as the magnificent woman that you are. So with over 25 years of professional expertise as a naturopathic doctor, specializing in women's healthy aging and longevity, and as a lifestyle and relationship coach, I share my heart and my knowledge with my vast personal life experience because I'm not a spring chicken anymore. So if this sounds good to you, be my guest here every week on this day of the week, which is a Saturday. And at this time of the day, I think on Win-Win Women on the global platform, which you really should check out. My show is scheduled at 12 p.m. Pacific time. But I live in the Bahamas. You see it in the background. I have this beautiful ocean in the back of me. And my time zone is 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time right now. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin. And I hope we can finish this today. If not, then I have to stop it sometime and we continue this episode next week. Okay, so as you saw from the title, I want to share with you my 5-step formula for kick-ass happiness. Yes. And let me just out of the start tell you what those 5 steps are, or the 5 pillars, I can also call them. There is clarity, choice, creativity, courage, and commitment. Now, the 3 essential ones, the 3 that you absolutely must have for any success, whether it's in your love life, in your business, in your family life, whatever you want to do, is first clarity, and then courage, and then commitment. But I will go talking about these 5 steps in the order of clarity, choice, creativity, courage, and then commitment. Okay, clarity. We definitely have to start with clarity. If you do not crystallize your goals, make them clear, crystal clear, you may only have a vague idea that may be too weak to actually reach and fulfill. And am I right that what you wish in the past maybe disappointed you? Maybe with self-criticism, maybe you let yourself down when you do not or didn't know what to do, what is necessary to reach your goals. We all do that, and I get that. And you're not alone in feeling that way. But here are the 2 most essentials that will create more clarity in your goal setting and goal achieving. Number 1 is, hold on, I think I have to sneeze. Number 1 is, why do I want to achieve the desire that you want to achieve or the goal that you have? So your why has to be big. Ask yourself, what is your why, your biggest why? And there may be a few, but you must find and declare your biggest why, because that why that you almost would die for, that will hold you, that may be powerful enough to hold you to it, but of course you need more support for that. And of course, you know, clarity, there is so much more to say about it. So I cannot go into very, very deeply into it. But let me just go to number 2. You must engage all of your senses. So the first one was find your biggest why and really feel it. And then number 2, in that clarity, you must engage all of your senses. So what does it mean? You must see it clearly in the front of your inner eye. When you close your eye, you must be able to see it clearly, what your goal is. You see that desired outcome as if it has already happened, like in a movie. And of course, in that movie, you are the main character, yes? You also must hear the sound. How does it sound? Like when you live the reality of the fulfillment of your goal. And then you have to smell it. How does it smell? Yes, don't laugh. When you close your eyes, you can smell maybe what it smelled like in your most cherished moments in your past. Scent is always attached to real events. Very often from early childhood, we get triggered by a scent. I get triggered by a scent of banana and milk and a biscuit, you know, like almost a toast that was toasted. In Germany, because I'm German, we call it Zwieback. And when you mash that together, that smell reminds me of my very early childhood. So yes, smell it. You must hear it. What does it sound like to live in the outcome of your goal? Outside of yourself, from people maybe around you, and also inside of you, your own joy-filled thoughts. And number 3, you must put your desired outcome into a time frame, because that makes it real, right? So you don't say one day or maybe soon or whenever. No, you have to give it a time frame. And that may be in a week, you know, or within the week, within a month, within 3 months, within 6 months, within 12 months, or by the end of 12 months, this is the result. I am celebrating now because this is what I intend and desire. This is my desired outcome, and I am going to make it real. Yes? So I repeat that you can maybe write it down if you like. Number 1 was your biggest why. Engage your strongest emotions into it. And number 2 was engage all of your senses so that you can see it, you can hear it, you can smell it, and feel the desired outcome. Yes? Number 3, put your goal into a clear time frame. How it will be in a week, in a month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year from now. So work with those steps and you will experience more and more clarity coming into your life. And that's not only for goal setting. Other issues may come up and you may experience an epiphany of sudden clarity. Wouldn't that be awesome? Can you see the truth of this? Can you do this? Will you do this? Then, of course, the last question is when? And then, if not now, when? Yes? Okay, so that was clarity. That was the first one of the 5 steps. Then we have choice, and only humans have choice. Animals have no choice, but must follow along with their inborn instincts as precisely designed by nature for the continuation of the species and as part of the whole biological system. There is actually no free will in animals, at least not in wild animals. Our domesticated animals, I think we sometimes believe they have free will. They are maybe difficult to train, but animals have a very, I mean, there is intelligence in in animals, Absolutely. But that free will, that I just can break out and do something totally different from anything that I did before or that others do. That's a very strong human ability. You and I, we really don't have restrictions. We can be anything that we want to be, right? We can even, I mean, forbid that, self-annihilate and destroy ourselves, our environment, and so take a great responsibility of using our creative power for a negative cause. But of course, we want to have that power of our creativity for something good. You and I also have our very special gifts, our total uniqueness and individuality. And that's even growing. We gained this through evolutionary advancement and intelligence. Our intelligence rises. And don't let me start about artificial intelligence. I don't want to go there here today. But we creative that we created artificial intelligence. So who you are is actually according to your very own composition of photons and matter, divinely positioned to be uniquely you in a way that nobody else has and was and ever will be. How awesome is that? Do you understand the power and magic that lies in that? You can behave and express almost anything that you desire. And there is no excuse to say that you can't help yourself. Yes, your choices are your choices. You have choice. You can. The question is, are you willing? Are you willing to do what is right for you or for others or to reach your goal? Are you willing to express the highest version, the highest possibility of who you are? And when I say that, it may sound as if there are different versions of you. There is just one you, but in different expressions of your original self and at different layers of awareness and development. You can take in instructions from others consciously or unconsciously. The unconscious and subconscious terrain is a vastly larger container that stores every impression you ever received through all of your senses. And this makes you impressionable without knowing what's really being stored and can be triggered at any moment in your life. And we often forget that whether we are conscious of it or not, we are constantly absorbing everything that happens around us, even when we are not aware of it. You can transform along the entire spectrum, from the most grotesque and cruel impulse to the highest version of brilliance, beauty, grace, intelligence, and total self-realization and fulfillment. You see that positive part I can express so much better than the negative one. But that positive part is you. It is up to you to bring that out and develop it and express it, because only you can do it and nobody else. I hope that you meditate on this maybe and contemplate your will and choices toward your highest goals and aspirations. So the second step was choice. Maybe you want to write a little bit about what comes to you. What choices do you believe you have? And then you may discover how limited your belief is, because you are living in some kind of story. You are telling yourself a story because of your past. And the vast majority, over 95% probably, of your limiting beliefs do not stem from your own belief, from your original belief, but they have been picked up by you from whatever happened to you from very, very early on, whatever you heard, whatever somebody told you, you couldn't do, or were not good enough, or were too this, or not enough of that, all of that BS, because it is total BS. And free yourself from it. Maybe in our next episode, I will go through some exercises to free yourself from all of that BS that consciously and subconsciously you hold as truth, as you believe in it. And whatever you believe, you decide is true, at least true for you. And we need to break through those limiting beliefs. Do you agree? Did you know? Yeah, okay. So I think that was about choice. So let's go into the next, into step 3, which is creativity. And a lot of people tell me that they are not creative. And sometimes I believe that too. My mother was an amazing artist, a painter. And so I thought, she is so creative and I am not. But that is totally not so. She has her way to express it, and she has also developed it. She has mastered it and took it to a higher and higher level, because that's what she was focused on. That was her passion. Okay, but you and I, all of us, we create every moment of our lives. Whether you know it or not, it is a fact that every thought and every feeling creates an actual frequency that is in absolute alignment with the thought and the feeling that you have. So that means you create a matrix that can be the vessel to collect the parts that bring it to life. So it's the manifestation formula, really. So this is how we manifest consciously, and consciously it takes much more effort, but we manifest unconsciously from our subconscious so much. And I guess the majority of that, what we create there, is not what we actually want. So how do we stop it? That's another episode. But you are on an imaginative trip whenever you allow your imagination to flow freely, whether during daydreaming or even unconsciously in your sleep. Do you experience this sometimes, that your dream becomes more lucid and you even can, it feels like you can control some things, like even knowing that you are dreaming? At least that's for me. But not all the time, but sometimes I know that I'm dreaming, especially when there's a situation that may become dangerous or so. I can, not only wake myself up, but I also tell myself, you're only dreaming in my dream. Maybe you can do this too. Isn't it fascinating how your internal natural creativity can take you into places maybe you have never consciously visited? How many times in your dreams you have dreams where you are in places you have never seen before, or with people you have never seen before? Isn't that fascinating? You can even fly. Yes, have you ever been able to fly in your dream? That's always an awesome experience that gives me clues about maybe where I hold on too tight in my life. Because when I have that dream of where I can fly, when I wake up in the morning, I recognize that maybe this is what I must focus on more, to give myself the permission to fly. Your and my imagination and our creativity are truly boundless. They have no limits. You can create a whole work for yourself by imagining it, and then allow the creative energy, which is something that we all have, to a larger or to a smaller degree. I mean, we admire it in artists, right? Who start with, let's say, a painter starts with a blank canvas, or a sculptor starts with a block of stone or clay. And the artist lets his or her imagination flow freely, which creates the most exquisite piece of art. Art is not really negotiable if it is magnificent or not. It is in the eyes of the beholder, of course. So you are really the artist of your own life. Yet if you do not know this or do not believe this, you will never actually create the unique and extraordinary version or the vision that you have, that your heart and your soul holds for you, that can manifest the extraordinary life you were born to experience, and it's waiting for you, but you are meddling in low self-esteem or limiting beliefs or stories that are just, you believe they are true, but you can break through them because they're only true if you believe they're true. So the bigger you dream, the more vividly you can imagine it and infuse it intensely with your senses, with your five senses. The sense of sight, an internal vision, your sense of smell, your sense of touch and taste. Even if it has not been manifested yet, that which you envision, your senses have a powerful impact on your ability to have what you want, to create the chalice, to create a container for it. Creativity is just a word, and we often see it with a limited imagination. But the truth is that your ability to create is a divine gift from the universe, from God. Yes, it is a godlike power you possess, you and I, all human beings. Should you believe in a Christian dogma, remember what Jesus Christ said. What I do, you can do also. But do you believe that? Can you embrace that truth? And if so, what do you do with that most precious gift from God, from the universe, from all there is, from the Creator, from the divine? You are a child of the divine, a child of the universe with endless potential and creativity. So make that part of your life, incorporate it in a bigger way. And you will be astonished. Yes, maybe surprise yourself with your ability to create your vision and future, the future that you love, the future that you want to live. Life is short, embrace it. And you can do so much more than you believe you can. Your future has not been created yet, and it is ready to be designed by you. You are only limited by your limiting beliefs, by your disbeliefs and influence of society or culture. You may have given permission to set rules in your life that limit you. Maybe it is time to break all rules and untangle restrictions that prevent you from dreaming big, having big. Can you imagine how you will feel when you live your greatest joy, because you live the life your heart and soul have already prepared for you, long before you even came into this lifetime? You came with that gift, with that vision. You can. It's all waiting for you, so do it. How do you do that? This is a theme and content for another. There is so much to say. Manifestation has become such a novel and you know, a word that there's so many people out there that tell you how you can manifest things, but there are some universal laws that work, and very often when people follow those laws and say that they still cannot manifest what they want, there is usually one major issue, and that is to stay focused on it, to visualize it with all of your senses and know that it is already there for you. And not just do it once and think it will happen. It's a daily exercise, to go into your absolute visualization and the feeling, and take all of your 5 senses with you, and enforce it. And then the universe, God, or whatever you call it, will deliver it to you. But you must be absolutely certain. Does that make sense? I believe so. So actually what I have here is, we went through awareness, we went through creativity, we went through choice, right? The next one would be courage. I don't think we have enough time now to really go through it and into it. And then the last one of the 5 steps to kick ass happiness or success in anything in life is really commitment. And courage and commitment are the 2 of the 3 essential steps. The first was clarity. There is nothing that happens without clarity, absolutely nothing. And really my 3-point or my 3-step template for everything I teach and I do is really include those 3 steps, which is clarity and courage. Because once you are clear, that doesn't mean you have the courage to do it, right? So the courage to do something, and we are going to talk about this in the next episode. And then the commitment. Without commitment, none of it will happen for you. So in the next episode, I will cover the last step 4 and step 5 of my 5-step blueprint, so to speak, to kick ass happiness and success in anything you desire. And then there is something that I add for what I call the 7 C's, because in our world today, where we become so isolated, we are so stuck with our electronics, I believe community has become paramount. We had it naturally. I had it, my parents had it, but this is the older generation. The younger generation doesn't have that community so much anymore. They are much more loners, and they live in a virtual world and not so much out in community. I saw something that was very curious. And in the past, like when I was a child, I didn't want to come inside. I wanted to be outside and keep playing outside. All of these wonderful, adventurous things we did as children outside of the home. Today, in today's world, the young children, you almost have to push them that they go outside. They are glued to their electronic devices. And the worst thing that you could do is take those devices away from them. They probably wouldn't last for a day without them. They would probably become not only fidgety, but angry and maybe paranoid or whatever. Of course, when you're my age, I'm going to be 77 next month, then I didn't grow up with that. So I enjoy still the outside, and I also enjoy the amazing abilities that we have by being connected. Otherwise, I couldn't speak to you, and you couldn't hear what I say if it wouldn't be with all of the technology that was developed, and that is developed even more. but I will never be somebody that is created by artificial intelligence, just looks like me, sounds like me, but is whatever I say is created by artificial intelligence. That will never happen. That is a promise. Okay, so we have come to the end of this episode, and I just want to thank you so very, very much for your time. I know your time is precious. I honor you. I love you. And I hope that maybe you look at my other episodes and find them also very helpful. And also, if you're a woman over 45, join my Facebook group. It's called Radiant Life Over 45 Club. And I share so much there. I think it would be very, very valuable for you to become a member. Yes, so also on YouTube, I have a YouTube channel that says the same thing, Your Radiant Life Over 45, and I have lots of videos there as well, also short, not as long as this one, like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 minute videos. This is all for me today. Have an absolutely amazing day, rest of the day, week, until I see you again next Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time or 12 Pacific Time. Bye-bye for now.